All right, CNT120 Chapter 5 lab. We just got done connecting up the Philadelphia side of the network. So if we take a peek, we should be seeing link lights everywhere, which is good. If you haven't done it already, you might want to do a save on your packet tracer file to save your progress. So what we want to do now is make sure that all of our PCs at the Harrisburg site are getting an IP address, and the same thing at the Philadelphia site. At the Harrisburg site, we don't have a DHCP server physically, but we do have the Harrisburg router configured to be DHCP. It's actually configured to hand out addressing via DHCP. So I'm going to go to the Harrisburg PC, and I'm going to make sure it's set for dynamic, and hopefully let it pick up an IP. There it is. Excellent. And I'm just going to repeat that for all the other devices in here to make sure they're getting an IP address to be, communicating on the network. Have an IP address to communicate on the network. So I'm just going to go right down the line and make sure they're all set for DHCP and picking up an IP. And the Harrisburg Laptop 2. So all the Harrisburg PCs are getting an IP. And if I ever want to double check, if I just hover the mouse over, if I look right below the name, you see the port, link, IP address. I see 192.168.10.101. That lets me know it has an IP address to be communicating on the network. On the Philadelphia side, we're going to do the same thing. We'll go to the Philadelphia PC, set for dynamic. This should be picking up a 30.170 or whatever it is. So we know this is now has an IP to communicate on this network. And then we'll go here and make sure this is picking up an IP. And then last but not least, this laptop here, picking up an IP. All right, so both sites, all the PCs have picked up an IP, and they should be able to communicate on the network. So we're going to do some connectivity testing. And we're going to gather results as we go. So I'm going to actually open up a notepad file now. And I'll put a little note in here that this is, CNT120 Chapter 5 lab. And I'm going to start putting notes of this is my Harrisburg PC 1. And that way I can keep my results organized. I'll save this. I'm going to save it to my documents folder, 120 Chapter 5 lab. And I'll call this, again, something like 120 Chapter 5 lab. And make sure I have the .txt there. Make sure I have the .txt so D2L does not fight you. All right, so with the Harrisburg PC, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the IP, ping the web server, and then trace the web server. So we're using some of those commands we learned back in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. So we're refreshing our memory on some of these commands. So over here, Harrisburg PC, open this guy up, command prompt, ipconfig. So I should be seeing the IP address that I'm using. There it is. And I'm going to ping the web server. So the web server is 192.168.30.4. And I should get successfuls. The first one might drop until it finds its way through the network, which is fine. If we get a timeout in the first one, the rest are fine. That's good. That's all right. And now we're going to do a trace RT to the same IP. There we go. That is all successful. That is all successful. So what I'll do is I will highlight all of this, the IP config, the ping, and the trace. I will right-click copy. I'll go to my notepad, and I'll paste it right under the Harrisburg PC 1. And I'm now going to repeat that for the other PCs, the laptop 1, PC 2, laptop 2. So there will be some repetition here, but we'll do Harrisburg laptop 1. We'll go in here, open our command prompt, IP config. We want to make sure everything, if we're getting IPs, if we're pinging and tracing through the network, then we know all of our cabling that we did was correct. That's the idea here. 2.168.30.4. There's our ping. And then we're going to do a trace to the same thing. Trace RT 192.168.60.30.4. And we're getting successful. So I will copy this as well. Right-click copy. Go over to my notepad. Right-click paste. And now we'll do a Harrisburg PC2. Same thing. Harrisburg PC2 and Harrisburg Laptop 2. Harrisburg PC2 command prompt IP config. And I should be noticing these are all unique IPs. We'll ping 192.168.30.4. And then we're going to trace to the 30.4. Trace RT 192.168.30.4. And we'll save these results as well. Right-click copy. Right-click paste. And one more for the Harrisburg site laptop 2. Here we go. Harrisburg laptop 2. Helps if I can type. Command prompt, IP config. We're getting a 104, so ping 192.168.30.4. We're getting a successful ping. Now we'll do a trace to 192.168.30.4. There we go. So again, we're seeing unique IPs on each one. That's what we should be seeing. And we should be seeing successful pings and traces to the other site. And all that is letting us know all the cabling we did is functioning correctly. So my Harrisburg site, it's a lot of repetition here, I know. But here's my Harrisburg PC1, IP config, ping, trace. Harrisburg Laptop 1, IP config, ping, trace. Harrisburg PC2, IP config, ping, trace. Harrisburg Laptop 2, IP config, ping, trace. So my Harrisburg side is done. I'm going to repeat this for the Philadelphia side. So we'll go over here to the Philadelphia side. Philadelphia PC1, we'll open a command prompt. And this time we're going to ping the PC over at the Harrisburg side. That way we know all the connections going the other way are functioning. So my ping and trace will change just a little bit. So I'll open up command prompt. I'll do the IP config again. I'm seeing a 3175, so that's unique. Ping 192.168.10.101. That should be the Harrisburg PC over there. That should be the Harrisburg PC. And if you get an error, just double check, hold your pointer over that Harrisburg PC. It's 101. If it happened to be 102, just use 102. You can ping 102, that's fine. You could even ping 103 in this case. You could even ping 104. Any one of those should give you the same results or results that are showing your connection. So do not panic about that. Some people do worry about that. 10.101 for my trace, and it's showing the trace going the other way. So there is my Philadelphia PC. I'll copy that result. I'm going to go back to my text file here, and I'll say Philly PC1 and paste that in. And now I'm going to have Philly Laptop 1. So I'm going to repeat this process for the first laptop over here. Command prompt IP config. There's our 3176. Then we're going to do a ping 10.101. We're going to ping right back over here to this PC. We got successful. And a trace to 192.168.10.101. We will copy these results. We are almost there. Hang in there. We're almost there. We'll paste that. And make sure I'm seeing my unique IP there. Now we need Philly PC2. So let's go over to PC2 here. Command prompt, IP config. I'm seeing a 177 now. Good, good, good. Ping 192.168.10.101. Helps if Mr. Brown can type the right number. There we go. 10.101. And then we'll do a trace to 192.168.10.101. And again, we're getting successful results. And I'm going to keep that little typo in there. That's fine. We'll copy that. I'll paste that in here as my PC2. And if you wanted to, you could come in here and just say, all right, we'll delete that out. That's okay. All right, so there's my PC2. That was my Philadelphia PC2. So now we need Philadelphia Laptop 2. So let's go over here to Laptop 2. And we're going to do IP config on this guy. We're seeing the 3178, which is good. ping 192.168.10.101, and then we'll do a trace RT to 192.168.10.101. Excellent. So now we will highlight all of that, right click copy, go to our notepad file, and then we'll paste that in. Alright, so now we have results showing that every single device was cabled up correctly because it's communicating correctly. That's what that's showing us. So at this point, just double check that you have them all. So I'm going to pull up my notepad file here. I know there's a bunch of stuff, but that's why I put labels in. Harrisburg PC1, ipconfig, ping trace. Harrisburg Laptop 1, ipconfig, ping trace. Harrisburg PC2, ipconfig, ping trace. Harrisburg Laptop 2, ipconfig, ping trace. So now we move to the Philadelphia side. Philadelphia PC1, ipconfig, ping trace. Philadelphia Laptop 1, ipconfig, ping trace. Philadelphia PC2, ipconfig, ping trace. And then Philadelphia Laptop 2, ipconfig, ping trace. So there would be everything. What I need to do at this point is just make sure this text file gets submitted to D2L for this lab. And we have done all kinds of copper cabling, all kinds of fiber cabling, and connectivity testing on our network. Nice job.